Today is a very special video. In front of me is a box that contains a species of ant that I have wanted on the channel for a very long time that I really think you all will be happy to see featured in my videos. I really hope that you all enjoyed this week's video, and if you do, and if you think I deserve it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as when I hit 5,000 subscribers on my channel, I will do an ant room tour that features every single ant species that I own, and that includes ant species that I have never before featured on the channel. So with that said, and without any further ado, let's get into today's video. This colony was packaged pretty well, and it took me well over 2 minutes to finally remove this bubble wrap. With the bubble wrap finally removed, I can now show you this colony in all of its glory. This ant species that I have in front of me is a very sought after species called Camponotus habereri. This colony currently has 8 workers, and they are all housed in a test tube setup. This colony is doing well, and they have brood in all stages of development. You can see that they have a small clutch of eggs in the corner, as well as a few larvae, and they also have 1 cocoon. And speaking of this cocoon, I actually managed to get some footage of it hatching later in the video, so stay tuned. When I unboxed this colony, the test tube had slightly leaked with water, and so I grabbed a Q-tip and I gently placed it in the test tube, that way it could soak up the excess water. I also replaced the cotton at the end of the test tube with a standard cotton ball that I normally use instead of this other material that I didn't really like very much. The ants were slightly disturbed by me cleaning up the water, so I gave them some space and I tried to let them calm down for a couple of hours. After that, I decided to give them a housewarming gift in the form of some nectar, and as I expected, it was a big hit, and at one point, 6 out of the 8 workers in the colony were all drinking the nectar at once. What makes this species so special is their vibrant and unique coloration. They have beautiful bright red midsections with black accents, and they also have a striped gaster. You can see that the queen of this species is especially vibrant, and the majors of this species also have the same vibrancy. The gasters of the workers that drank the honey turned green, and this gives the workers even more of a beautiful appearance. This process here of one ant feeding another is called trophallaxis. When a worker ant gathers food to bring back to the colony, the food is stored in one of 2 stomachs, either the social stomach or the ant's personal stomach. And whenever an ant feeds another, it is regurgitating food from their social stomach. Here I managed to get a clip of the worker feeding the queen some of this honey, and it really shows off just how beautiful this queen really is. This is the colony a few days later. You can see that all of the ants are green from drinking the honey, including the queen, and the colony is doing very well with a healthy amount of brood. Speaking of the colony's brood, here I managed to catch the pupa from a few days ago hatching into the colony's 9th worker. And you can see the workers cleaning the newly hatched ant with their mandibles as she slowly gains mobility and her exoskeleton begins to harden. If you look very closely, you can see the ends of the newly hatched worker's limbs start to twitch a little bit. When the cocoon is ready to hatch into a worker, the other ants of the colony rip open the cocoon, and this allows the worker to slowly gain mobility. If you look very closely at the newly hatched worker's gaster, you can see a small white thing at the end of it. This is a film that covers the entire worker once it's hatched, and that's what the other ants are working to remove. Once the worker gains mobility, you'll still be able to see that it's a lot lighter than all of the other workers. That's because once a newly hatched worker comes out of its cocoon, it's lighter in color because its exoskeleton hasn't fully hardened yet. It will take a few days for it to fully harden, but once it does, it will be indistinguishable from all of the other ants in the colony. On the same day, I decided to feed this colony a very small piece of mealworm, since there were a few larvae in the colony that could benefit from some protein. If you look closely, you can see that the green coloration from the nectar that I fed them a few days ago is no longer there. This means that the green nectar has been used up and the colony is in need of some more sugars. So I decided to give them some pink nectar today and see if they liked it or not. You can see multiple times in this clip that the workers slowly go up to the mealworm and then they quickly jump backwards. This is a characteristic of a colony that doesn't yet have many workers, and as time goes on, their confidence will grow. But once they realize that this mealworm is not a threat, they have the confidence to go up to it, and they seem to really enjoy the protein. Here in this clip, one of the workers that was feeding on the mealworm decided to grab the entire piece and bring it right back to the nest. It's crazy to see how strong ants are relative to their size, and here you can see that this piece of mealworm was especially difficult to bring back, because there was a piece of cotton that was attached to the mealworm, but as the ant persisted, it managed to break free and bring it back to the nest. But this might not have been the best idea, because once the worker brought the mealworm piece back to the nest, it caused all of the other ants, including the queen, to freak out, and it caused them to go into a complete frenzy. When I saw this happen, I knew that the colony was very stressed out, and I needed to leave them be for another couple of hours so that they could calm down. Now that the colony has calmed down a little bit, I'm sure that they are happy about this mealworm being in their nest. I know that the larvae will greatly benefit from the protein that this mealworm offers. When this colony gets a few more workers, I am planning on doing one of two things. The first option that I'm considering is moving the colony into a mini hearth once the colony reaches around 15 workers, or if they end up not doing well in the test tube setup or it gets moldy, because the colony is at enough workers where I could move them now and they would do just fine. The other option is to attach them to a small outworld and I start feeding them that way. This way I would also be able to attach a second test tube once the colony grows larger and or if they are in need of a new one. I hope that you all enjoyed this introductory video of one of the most pretty ant species that I've ever seen. I'm very excited for this colony to grow larger and start to have majors, and I will make many more updates on this colony in the future. With that said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and if you think I deserve it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. When I reach 5,000 subscribers, I will make a full ant room tour video that features every single ant colony that I own, including species that I've never before featured on the channel. I also really want to thank you all for the recent support on my videos. It makes me want to post many more, and I'm super excited to reach the milestone of 5,000 subscribers. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that you all have a great day, and until next time, peace.